Unfortunately, for the rest of the afternoon, we don't have any more time for questions because there's a tight schedule and there's an event after with the 5-minute pitches. So now I would like to introduce two people, actually. Jess Houlgrave and Menelaos Petrovas, who are talking about something which is still a kind of a mystery to me, which is blockchain and its impact on the hospitality industry. Please.
Good afternoon. My name's Jess Houlgrave. I'm based in London, and since 2016, I've been working as an academic, an entrepreneur, and an advisor in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. I've worked across art, esports, smart cities, hospitality, and a few other things. And so today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the basics of blockchain, and then share with you my thoughts on how I think blockchain is going to impact the hospitality industry. So let's start with blockchain. For the technical audience in the room, I'm going to caveat this by saying it's highly oversimplified. But I'm a big believer that in 5 or maybe 10 years' time, every single one of us will be using blockchain, and yet we won't know that we are doing it. It will be the same way that we use applications on our phone. We're not thinking about how the internet works. We're just thinking about the end user experience, and blockchain will be no different. The biggest misconception is that blockchain is the same as cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is often the first access point to blockchain that people have. Over the last 2 years, we have seen a tremendous rise and then subsequent fall of the price of cryptocurrencies. And whilst blockchain is the underlying technology that enables cryptocurrencies, they are not one and the same. And so I think it's really important, firstly, to dissociate blockchain as a technology and cryptocurrencies as something which experience price volatility. So what is actually blockchain, then? Again, I think it's helpful to go back to basics and think about blockchain simply as a database. In the early days when we had databases, they were stored on a single server, perhaps on a home computer, like the one you see there, or perhaps on a more large-scale corporate server. With the advent of the internet, we could connect those databases and share information between them. But the store of that data was still in a single structured database, particularly on a hard drive. Where we are today is cloud computing. The reason that I can lose my phone and not lose all my contacts and my photographs is because that data is stored in a cloud. But a cloud, like the previous iterations of a database, has a single source of weakness. If somebody wants to maliciously change that data, it can be very, very easy to do so. And that's where blockchain is revolutionary. The database can be split over multiple nodes within a network, each maintaining a copy of that database. It means if we want to change it, it's very, very difficult to do so. And if it does happen, it's very obvious immediately that that data has been tampered with. Effectively, a single node in a blockchain runs the blockchain software, which hashes data together using cryptographic mechanisms, each corroborated by the block before them. And this gives us the idea of an immutable ledger. Data can only be appended, it cannot be changed, and that means that the data has proven chronological integrity. It's the reason that we call distributed ledgers immutable. But what does that mean for the hospitality industry? Well, imagine we can use these things to record accurately data that can be audited over time. There are many, many different use cases in this space. Not all of them I'm going to go into. Particularly payments and identity are broader than just the hospitality space. But tomorrow I'll be running a roundtable workshop for anybody who wants to dive deeper into those topics and any of these. But right now I'm going to focus on the following 4: inventory and supply chains, booking, loyalty, and peer-to-peer applications. When it comes to inventory and supply chain, this is an application of blockchain technology that is well recognized. Everyone from IBM and Walmart using blockchain to track lettuces through the supply chain, through to De Beers tracking diamonds. And the hospitality industry is no different. Vendor acquisition is particularly important. As a hospitality company, selecting our vendors relies on the integrity of data around supplier onboarding, vetting, background checks, and quality assurance. And a blockchain can help us provide audited, transparent data in real time that allows users to make the best purchasing decisions. Inventory management for hotels is exactly the same. If everybody within the supply chain is using a single blockchain, over time we can really accurately price data and make sure that that data has integrity. And what about bookings? Fritz Jausen, who is the CEO of TUI Travel Group, says that OTAs create superior margins because they have monopolistic structures. And blockchain can destroy this. Indeed, in the same article, he goes on to explain that blockchain is the primary reason for TUI selling their hotel beds platform last year for over $1.2 billion. It's the same reason that they've launched BedSwap, which is a blockchain-based prioritization system which allocates hotel rooms to specific online marketplaces according to the highest market margins and demand. And they're not the only ones. We have seen Webjet in Australia create an online distribution platform for car rentals, hotel rooms, and airlines, all focused in Asia. And Winding Tree are also creating a decentralized platforms where neither the user of a hotel or the hotel itself pays a booking commission. We're truly creating these peer-to-peer systems which are disintermediating the big players. The third application I'm going to talk about is loyalty. Loyalty points are a great way that the hospitality industry for many years has been using it to make themselves stand out. Many studies have shown that that companies with loyalty programs outperform those without. And acquiring a new customer is much more expensive than retaining an old one. But many loyalty programs today are failing the users. The average household in the US is a member of 29 loyalty programs. Over time, those quickly become very difficult to manage all of them. People don't use those systems, and the very systems that are designed to withhold that customer over time, the customer is getting bored of. A blockchain platform could help us create a coalition of partners where we can earn and spend loyalty points in real time. Imagine the airline points that I earned on the way here, me being able to immediately spend at your hotel, or even on the taxi on the way here. We can create much more user-centric and customer-focused design systems that can help us with this loyalty issue. And finally, the peer-to-peer space is also being disrupted. Just like a few peer-to-peer taxi platforms are finally beginning to shake Uber's hold on the taxi industry, it is no different in hospitality. CryptoCribs, Slockit, and a couple of others are offering platforms which now allow pure peer-to-peer collaborative sharing programs without the intermediary taking that 30 or 40% commission. And so I think that even these players are going to see big disruption from blockchain. It's perhaps time to think about where this impacts you. Over 40% of CTOs from hotel and hospitality companies think that blockchain will have an impact in their roadmap over the next 5 years. And these are just some of the companies who have launched either pilots or full-scale platforms and projects within the blockchain space. So if anybody is thinking about this or your interest has been piqued, we'll be running a longer workshop tomorrow where we can dive a little bit deeper into those topics. But start thinking about it now. Hand over.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Jess. I wanted to ask the audience, how many of you really understand blockchain? Raise your hands. Not so many. How many of you do you really believe that blockchain could be beneficial for the hotel industry? Very few. The truth is that blockchain technology, as Jess already mentioned, is a buzzword. It is an application that has a variety, it is a technology that has a variety of applications and concentrates the interests of many industries, among them our industry. It is a very complex topic to be covered within only a few minutes. 10 minutes or 20 minutes is just a very few to give a specific definition of what blockchain technology is. But if we could actually wrap it up and give a simplified definition, we could do so. We will say that blockchain technology is a public database that keeps a permanent record of digital transactions without the need of third parties to verify the transactions. So we could say that blockchain technology allows multiple parties in diverse locations to upload data, exchange information and values without the need of a third party to verify their existence. Because every single party within this network is incentivized to do the right thing without the need of a third party to verify their existence, because every single of them is incentivized to do the right thing following a very specific consensus method. So the key things, the key words that we need to keep in mind when we're talking about blockchain technology are decentralization and the absence of a third party that verifies the transaction. But do we as hotel professionals really need to understand how blockchain technology really works? Not really. I mean, we all use technologies in our daily lives that we don't really go deep into analyzing how they work. I mean, for instance, we all use internet. We all use the internet in our daily lives, but we don't go deep into analyzing how the hypertext transmission protocol works, right? But it is there. Every single time that we click on the button to download data and read the news, it is there and analyzes how data is transmitting from one website to another. Or when we exchange emails within our organizations, with our colleagues, we don't go deep into how the encrypted code behind the email system that we're using is operating. No, we don't really need to do that. What we really need to understand is how this technology could be beneficial for our industry. And in order to do so, we need to understand where we stand, how this ecosystem, the current ecosystem that we're now operating really is. What is the problem? And if really blockchain technology is actually helping us to solve this problem. And starting with the applications that blockchain could be beneficial for our industry, the first one that comes in our mind is distribution. When we're talking about distributing inventory in our industry, we are talking about a highly centralized place where a few companies own a huge amount of data, our guests' data. And we're talking about huge amounts of commissions that every single property we need to pay annually to these third parties. Imagine for a moment, just imagine for a moment how differently it will be an ecosystem without the need or a minimized need of a third party within this industry. Nowadays, an autonomous algorithm can connect a single guest with a single property. And this is doable nowadays and is manageable and is provided by WildingTree, which is a non-profit organization based in Switzerland, in Zurich, Switzerland, which by the way, we have a partnership where we're working on it. The other application that could work in our industry is reputation management. In reputation management, we often face where we come along with fake reviews. Within a decentralized environment, the probability of fake reviews is minimized because with blockchain technology, we can track down the initiator of its review and connect it with the booking that was first initiated. Loyalty, as Jess already mentioned, in the future, we might going to see properties creating crypto tokens and connecting this with their loyalty programs. Because a blockchain environment provides the technological infrastructure to create value. And as a matter of fact, creating crypto tokens is not a complicated task. It only requires a few lines of coding. But still for the moment, and due to the high blockchain costs, This is going to take some time, but it will come eventually. About financial transactions, cryptocurrencies, they do obviously have a higher security level when it comes to payments in comparison to credit cards. But again, in order to see payments taking place in our industry, it will require that blockchain technology will be adapted within our industry. I'm not going to go further into applications. There's much more and many technological details that we could discuss. But what I would like to say more and discuss about the technology and the blockchain technology is how technology is shaping our behavior. I mean, in digital marketing and consumer psychology, we often discuss about the future customer types that we're going to face. We talk about millennials, we talk about Generation Y, Z, Alpha generation, just name it. And when we discuss about it, we understand that there's a common factor that affects their behavior, and this is the technology. And the fact is that in a few years' time, we're going to see blockchain technology taking over more and more, and it's going to disrupt the way that we do business. It's going to disrupt the way the society is operating, because it brings something that is very revolutionary, and this is trust between parties that are taking interact with each other. The fact is, how are we gonna cope with that as an industry? Are we gonna stand back, or are we gonna become pioneers that we're gonna follow? I'm gonna be here if you want to ask any questions regarding how Winding Tree is operating the whole platform. Know that the time is very limited. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Menelaos.